Mavis. Mavis is a diesel engine belonging to Farquhar Quarry Company. They brought her shunt trucks in their sidings. She's black and has 6 wheels. These are like turbines, are hidden by side plates. Mavis is young and full of her own ideas. She is sure they are better than anybody else's. She loves rearranging things and put Toby's trucks in different places every day. This made Toby cross. Trucks, he grumbled, should be where you want them when you want them, faltered Mavis. At last Toby lost patience. I can't waste time playing hunt the trucks with you, he snapped. Take 'em yourself. Mavis was delighted. Taking trucks made her feel important. At Puffing Billy, she met Daisy. Toby's an old fusspot, she complained. Daisy liked Toby but was glad of a diesel to talk to. Steam engines, she said, have their uses, but they don't understand. Toby says steam engines can manage trucks properly. What rubbish, put in Daisy, who knew nothing about trucks. Depend on it, my dear. Anything steam engines do, we diesels can do better. Toby's line crosses the main road behind Puffing Billy station and for a short way follows a farm lane. The rails here are buried in earth and ashes almost to their very tops. In wet weather, animals, carts and tractors make the lane muddy and slippery. Frost makes it rock hard and swells it too. It swells it too to prevent engines' wheels from gripping the rails slippery properly. Turley found this place troublesome, and he has to do some proper thing like go across it instead of stopping. But he liked to stop at the steep slope, and when he goes forward, the trucks help by using their weight to push him forward, and his wheels can grip again when he reaches the other side. So when Frost came, he warned Mavis and told her just what to do. I can manage, thank you, she said cheekily. I'm not an old fusspot like you. The trucks were tired of being pushed around by Mavis. It's slippery, they whispered. Let's push her around instead. On, they yelled. And Mavis, as Mavis reached the stopboard, that Mavis had heard about Percy talking about chances, she brought the train carefully down the lane and stopped at the crossing. traffic halted. On in the headlamp for first pot, Toby, she chortled. She looked forward to having a good giggle about it with Daisy, but she never got her giggle. She was so sure she was right that she'd stopped in the wrong place. In frosty weather, Toby stops before reaching the lane, and while some of his trucks are still on the slope, this ensures that they can't hold him back, and their weight helps him forward to keep his wheels forward till his wheels can grip again. But Mavis had given the trucks the chance they wanted. Hold back, hold back. They giggled. Grr, up. Ordered Mavis, but the trucks just laughed, and her wheels spun helplessly. She tried backing, but the same thing happened. They sanded the rails and tried to dig away the frozen mud, but only broke the spade. Everyone was impatient. Grr, ah, wailed Mavis in a helpless flurry. I warned her, fumed Toby. I told her just where to stop. I can manage, she said, and called me an old fusspot. She's young yet, soothed his driver, and she can manage her trucks herself. They're your trucks, really, his driver pointed out. Mavis isn't supposed to come down here. If the Fat Controller, you wouldn't tell, would you? Of course not. Well then, but, his driver went on, if we don't help clear the line, then he'll soon know all about it, and so shall we. Said Toby thoughtfully. An angry farmer was telling Mavis just what she could do with her train. Toby buffered up. Having trouble, Mavis? I am surprised, Grush, said Mavis. With much puffing and wheel slip, Toby pushed the trucks back. Mavis hardly helped at all. The hard work made Toby's fire burn fiercely. Then he reversed. Stopping at intervals while his firemen spread out cinders to melt the frozen mud. Goodbye, he called as he reached the crossing. You're managed now, I expect. Mavis didn't answer. She took the trucks to the sheds and scuttled home as quickly as she could.